You know, one thing that I've discovered about them, the politician, is that no permanent friend or enemy. So what is paramount to them is their interest. So let's see whether they will be able to do that.
Now, EU is also talking, European Union, they are urging Nigerians to go out and collect their PVCs and come out to vote. But there are a few hiccups about registration. We've seen a lot of videos on the social media of young Nigerians wanting to register and they're being deprived.
I think the people in charge, INEC, should do something, because you can't disenfranchise people. It's our political right for people to have their PVC. In fact, of recent, they are saying that INEC said by June 30 or thereabout, they will stop the exercise.
But the court has stopped INEC.
Yes, even apart from the court. This is in flagrant violation of the law. Section 9.2 of the Electoral Act is saying you can do that 90 days before the election. So I don't know where they got that mentality. I don't know where they got that law. So they should allow people to get their PVC, because that is the power. That is what can change this country for better.
Okay, Nigerians told by EU to go out, register, get their PVCs, and come out to vote in next year's election. The last one, this could be shocking, but then it's real. It came from the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and it says most Nigerians now not interested in APC and PDP. He said they are showing interest in Obi. Well, we're not campaigning for Obi, but then, I mean, if Obaseki could say this, I think it's also a subject, you know, of debate.
Well, we should not pretend about what is happening, most especially among the youths these days, unless even the politicians themselves, they cannot deny knowledge of this. But the fact remains that they know how to go about their calculation and what have you. But what I'm sensing is this. You know, the youths have the largest number of the populace. If they are saying this time around that they want to vote, they want to get their PVC, I'm afraid we may have what we call political revolution from the 2023. Because by the time all the youths get their PVC, and with what they are saying, I heard some people saying, with structures, what have we achieved? You are saying some people don't have structure on the ground. Those who have structure, what have we achieved with the structures? So let's wait. I'll still repeat what I said. Let's wait for the unfolding of events. 2023 will tell. Will tell. It's just by the corner.
Well, a lot of English words, you know, usually come out of Nigeria, especially when it is election time, and structure that I used to know growing up is not political structure. Now, an average politician will tell you that, oh, that man doesn't have structure. But one issue that has also crept into our political dictionary is placeholder. And that's what we're looking at this afternoon. The concept of placeholder in submission of party candidates for 2020, one or two of them did not actually resolve, you know, logically and conclusively the issue of the running mates of their presidential candidates, and that's APC and LP. For PDP, we know Ifeanyi Okowa is the running mate for Atiku. For APC, a certain Kabiru Masari, the welfare officer, secretary of the party, was named. But of course, we also understand that that is not the consensus candidate of the party. Now, INEC has gone a step further by saying that, okay, parties, if you want to replace your candidates, you have up till July 17 to do so. Now, those people that were put in those positions that belong to someone else are the ones that we're calling placeholders. Another new word completely. But let's look at the validity of this concept.
Well, let me start by saying some of us are not new to the what factory of Nigeria, especially when elections are coming. For instance, we used to have governorship election. Sometimes ago they smuggle in gubernatorial. And when Babangida was actually leaving government, he said, instead of resigning, he said he was stepping aside. So we are not new to some of these things. But let's come to the word placeholder or act of placeholding. I must confess that this is a new word that is coming, and some people have the error. I will call it error because there is a dichotomy between mistake and error. For error, you do not know until someone tells you. The error they are having in their head is from the Electoral Act 2010 rather, then the amendment of 2012. Then they have this notion that when INEC says submit your candidate by so time, they can just take anybody's name and put it there so that that person will hold the place until the party or the machinery of the political parties will come together and look for whosoever will fit in, especially their purpose. You know, a lot of factors come in. They have to look at religion, they have to look at region, they have to look at a lot of things. In fact, they have to look at somebody who will be suitable for the presidential candidate. But in this case, let's go to the ground norm, which is the Constitution. The Constitution under Section 132 contemplates 5 things that actually a candidate, especially the running mate, may, for withdrawal, death, disappearance, okay, and 2 other things that can take place. The Constitution gives the INEC power to extend period for nomination. It's in the Constitution. However, under the Electoral Act 2022, and we have to clarify this misconception, the law under Section 31 of that act is saying a candidate can withdraw, or by death, if anything happens, INEC has the power to extend submission or replacement by 90 days before election. However, this placeholder they are saying, to me, it is unconstitutional. It's not in our Constitution. Number 2, the Electoral Act never contemplated anything called placeholding or a person called placeholder. As far as the law is concerned, APC has VP nominee.
Kabiru Masari.
Kabiru Masari.
And Tinubu has come out to say that that the word is also strange to him, that he doesn't know anything called, that he has nominated his running mate.
Of course.
Isn't that in conflict with the position of the party?
The party is saying, well, we have to do what we have to do and get a suitable candidate. But the fundamental, the basic of it now is that in law, INEC is saying you have submitted 2 names. And by the law, those are the names that the INEC will recognize for now. However, there is a provision in the law that says somebody can withdraw. And that is why I have to clarify Section 31 very well of that law. Section 31 is saying if any candidate wants to withdraw, that candidate will write letter by application. That's the first step. Give the letter to the political party. The political party is the one now that will take the letter to INEC, say this candidate has withdrawn. Then INEC will now organize or wait for another 90 days or 90 days before election that bring another name. Substitution is allowed under Section 33, but based on 2 things, death and withdrawal. In other words, for instance, let me cite the example of Lawan, the Senate President, and the other guy. What's his name? I can't remember his name now. That man, insofar as the law is concerned, that is the senatorial candidate for APC of his federal constituency or senatorial constituency. If the party is now saying, you should step down or let this one go, in other words, if the man fails to withdraw formally, that is the man that will be elected if on their side they win, and will become the senator for his area. But what they are doing, what the machinations and calculations and I won't use the word rigmarole of politicians, is that they believe, I don't know where they got that mentality from, that they can tell somebody who put this name and you go and tell him, okay, we are not substituting, or this is just a placeholder. That word is a Nigerian manufactured word. And it has no basis in our electoral act. It has no basis in the Constitution.
Is it the backlash of that the likes of former Minister of Transportation is facing now, Rotimi Amaechi? Some people are saying that Buhari should have reappointed him as a minister, but Buhari has gone for some other names. Those who actually went to contest, you know, they left their positions, they lost. Now they want to come back, but Mr. President says no.
I will support Mr. President. In the first place, you cannot eat your cake and have it. When they wanted to contest for presidency, of course, they all bought their forms, 100 million, that has been overtaken by event. Let's leave that. They ought to have carried out their calculations and what have you, that, well, for you to have resigned, it's like saying, I have nothing to do in that office again. In fact, people would think that Mr. President, sorry for using this word, if Mr. President is now bringing the likes of Amaechi or is submitting his name to the Senate for confirmation, people would think, is he a moron? What's real? Is he saying we don't have good people or people who can handle such position in Nigeria? The point remains that, of course, I will agree with you in totality, that should be part of it. If you say you are going to do this and you did your calculation and mathematics very well, you can't be saying, you can't be reprobating now. To me, all those who left, in fact, I heard of, is it Akpabi or somebody that they said somebody has stepped down for him? Well, let me thank the gentility of the gentleman in that person. You have left that place. It is like you are taking a risk. If you can't get it again, whosoever has struggled to get that ticket, allow him to be. But the issue is this. Even the man that you are trying to fight for, you are trying to say, oh, it's your ticket. Those money bags, they are ready to buy in. Say, okay, even if you go to Senate, this is the calculation. How much have you spent? We are going to triple it. You get the money and you step aside or you step down.
But Mr. Bangwala, what is wrong with agreement? If you and I had an agreement, you are contesting to be in the Ogun State House of Assembly, for instance, at the same time you want to become something else, and you now say, Bjorn Alabi, please hold this place from you. It's an agreement. What's wrong with agreement?
Mr. Alabi, in law generally,
yes,
we have different types of agreements. We have the one that we call unenforceable. We have the one we call gentleman's agreement. Of course, NIC and Court of Appeal, they have said collective agreements are no longer gentleman's agreement. Agreement that you cannot enforce is in between. The issue is this is your ticket, House of Assembly candidate for our constituency. Now, I want to play, I want to just risk something. Let me go for the governorship. Mr. Alabi, if I fail to clinch it, I'm coming back. The issue is this. There is a legal question. If you say no, which court or where will I enforce such? Moral, that will be based on morality. But you people agree. And that is the issue with rotational presidency in Nigeria. People have been saying, what should they do? Should they come to the south, east, or west? The fact remains that, as far as our concern is concerned today, no such arrangement. Nobody can enforce such. And that is why the North, they have the guts. After President Buhari will have spent 8 years, they are now saying Atiku should come, or if not for political calculation. Lawal battle it out with Senator Ahmed Tinubu. People are saying, okay, some people are saying let's not continue. So in other words, no such arrangement. So when they say this, that zoning or this or that, they are gentleman's agreement. They are unenforceable in law. You can't approach any court. You can't approach any tribunal.
Interestingly, INEC has come out to say there's no place for these, and that they are not also aware of place holding. But the parties, especially APC, is saying that they are in order. The chairman, national chairman of the party, Adabu, said what they have done is totally not out of place. You know, but my worry is Adamu seems to be speaking, you know, this way, and the man himself that has got the ticket to represent the party is also speaking this way. Now, as we are closing gradually, what do you think what do you think actually brought us to this situation?
Well, I'm sorry for using this word. For Alhaji Adamu or Mr. Adamu, I will call him a man of double mouth, of double tongue. You know, we all remember what happened during the primaries. He came and addressed pressmen and said, Lawan has been chosen as the consensus candidate. After that, everybody takes his power and muzzle, and the candidate for APC came and that's Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Of course, Adamu is saying his own. Of course, you said there that Bola Ahmed Tinubu said to him also the word placeholder is a very new word. In other words, if the political party is saying this, well, Adamu should be speaking for the party. Maybe, let me just say, maybe they are still doing their consultation. What I know from the law is that they can still tell whosoever that is there now to withdraw. Then use your political wisdom to look for a candidate that will fit in for the position of vice presidential candidates. But the main issue is this. You know, a lot of factors played in, a lot. We are talking about Muslim ticket. Some are talking about a Muslim-Christian ticket. Some are talking about religion now. And some are even talking, the youth are saying different things. You know, the noise about Obi. As we are talking now, the camp of Labour Party, Obi and what's this man from Kano? NNPP. They are a lot of things. And as students of history, you still remember what happened during the NCNC, MPP, and Action Group, all these margin and what have you, for the First Republic, 1963. So anything can happen now. And I think if APC, I don't want to say anything on here that I will appear maybe biased to any party, but we have had enough of APC.
This big political party, APC particularly?
Well, APC particularly, let me take them one after the other. Three things. On the issue of placeholder, they still have their time.
July 17th.
The law allows that even 90 days before election, somebody can withdraw. For that, no problem. For other issues, with what is happening now, I think APC, I'm not talking for them, they should do more of their own work. Because it appears to me, well, that's my personal opinion, that more people, especially the youth, the way they are thinking now, they are not thinking the way of APC or PDP. And look at the news, even Obaseki, who is there, at least is one of the people in government, is giving them direction. I think to a party that is very highly sensitive to people's yearning and development, APC too should put machinery in place now that will woo the youth especially, and even the PDP. For PDP, I don't want to do any analysis on their geometry or what they have now, but they have more work to do. But one would have expected, I'm talking, this is my personal opinion, one would have expected power to shift from the north after Buhari might have spent 8 years to the south. But for choosing Atiku to be their candidate, they have more work to do, especially with the revolution that is taking place in the east. They are focusing on Obi and Obi and Obi. For APC, let them not go and sit and say all is well.
And for LP?
And for LP, Well, people have been saying no structure, no structure. Let them go and work on structure. That no structure, no structure. Let them do something. For me, I'm neutral, and I don't belong to any political party. So,
but you want the best for Nigeria?
The best for, at this time, the best for Nigeria. And I've been saying it. In fact, my church, my district, they said I should be the representative for good governance. Now, so we are telling people, go and get your PVC, we want to vote. But we are not campaigning for anybody. But this time around, is nobody should sit and be blaming anybody. Let's go and vote. The era of saying your vote will not count, sorry for speaking Yoruba, that era is over. You want to go and vote and stay there and count our votes.
We must thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. For always saying it the way it is.
Thank you very much.
Hot brand lawyer, firebrand lawyer, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We must thank you so much too for staying with us.